daughter asks me to make wings all the time. Today that's what I'm going to do. We're going to make them two different ways. One seasoned with Italian seasonings and lemon, the other way a sort of sweet and spicy chili paste made with sambal, oelek, and some honey. Both delicious. We're going to cook them in the oven, that way we can avoid some of the mess of deep frying here in the kitchen. Nobody wants to clean up after that. I'm Josh and this is What's for Dinner, Dad.
So the first thing we want to do is separate our wing drummettes from the wing flats. There's a little joint between the two pieces that you should be able to slide your knife through pretty quickly. Just kind of work it through. You shouldn't have to cut through any bone. Same thing when you take the tip off of the flat. Just kind of work your knife through. You might have to twist and turn a little bit until you find the spot, but if you find yourself cutting through bone, you're doing it wrong. There we go. And you might have to just break it off like that too. Kind of work your way through, like I said. I've got 3 pounds of wings here, so I'll show you how to do a couple of them. And once they're done, I just set them aside here. And I put my tips in a bag that I'm going to save later for when I need to make some chicken stock. They are a perfect thing for that, so don't throw them away. Again, you can see how easily we can get the knife through the chicken just to separate the flat from the drumette. Wing pieces set aside, tips in the bag. Now I've got all of my wing pieces separated, so I'm going to take a paper towel and dry each of them off. Just make sure that they're patted dry. This is going to help them be much crispier when they're in the oven. Then I'll take 1 tablespoon each of kosher salt and baking powder, stir them to combine, and then toss that over my wings. And then I'll mix the wings around in that mixture, in that salt and baking powder, and then separate half of them onto a wire rack that's over an aluminum foil baking sheet, spaced out evenly. Then I'll take some olive oil and toss it over the other half, along with some Italian seasoning or any sort of dried herb seasoning that you like. Toss those around to coat and make sure they're evenly coated, and then set those on the wire rack along with my plain wings. It should look just like that. At this point, you can air dry them in the refrigerator to get nice and crispy, or you can put them directly into the oven at 425 degrees on the upper-middle rack and bake for about 15 minutes. While that's going on, I'm going to take some scallions and cut the bottom halves off and save the tops for later. Then I'll take some ginger. I like to just cut the peel off and then cut it into smaller strips and mince it from there. And then 3 cloves of garlic, smashed and minced. Set those all in a bowl together. My oven timer's gone off, so I'm going to flip my wings over. You can see they're starting to brown and crisp just a little bit. So I'll flip them over, and I'm also going to flip the pan around 180 degrees in the oven so that way they can get exposed to all the heat in the oven a little bit more evenly. Back in they go for another 15 minutes, and I'm going to really start to see how brown they are. I may need to go a little extra time. While they're baking, I'm going to make my sauce, my sweet and spicy chili sauce, for the other wings that don't have the herb coating. I'll start with some vegetable oil, and then put in my aromatic vegetables, the scallions, ginger, and garlic. Let those sweat for 4 to 5 minutes. Then I'm going to add my soy sauce. Fish sauce, not too much of that. Sambal oelek, which is a chili paste. Finally some honey, so we've got our sweet and spicy. And then I'm going to take a silicone spatula and stir that and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And then I've made a slurry of cornstarch and water. That's going to be my thickening agent. I'll pour that in and reduce the heat to low and stir constantly until it is nice and thick like this. You see how it coats the back of my spatula. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how my wings look here. Again, you can cook them a little longer if you want, but you see how nice and brown they are. So on my herb wings, I'm just going to spritz some lemon over them. And then for my sweet and spicy wings, I'm going to put them in a large bowl with some of my sweet chili sauce and toss them until they are fully coated. And there you have it, your oven-baked wings of lemon and herb and sweet and spicy chili.
And there you have it, our wings 2 ways. The favorite of my daughter Mia here. My son Noah here is also going to try some. It's the Italian seasoning with some lemon on them, and then I've got the spicy and sweet chili wings that I'm gonna give a try. So what do you say, guys? You wanna dig in?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Good. Glad you like it. All right. Well, I'll see you next time. I'm Josh. This is Mia and Noah. And this has been What's for Dinner, Dad.
If you like this video, make sure to find us and follow us on social media. Search What's for Dinner Dad on Instagram and Facebook. You can also check out some of the other videos we have on the channel here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe these. I'm Josh, and this is What's for Dinner Dad.